Every person should feel empowered in their own right. Leadworthy's goal is to make sure that we are creating leaders and empowered leaders for our school and community to make it a better place for everyone involved.
My name is Candace Romes, and on the topic of leadership, I'll start off by saying that as leaders, I know we all feel like we have many responsibilities, which we do, to make sure we do what's right and stand up for what we believe in. When you're a leader, you mind yourself to be modest, open-minded, and compassionate. Look at the whole world around you before just looking at where you're standing, meaning that before you make a decision, you think about how your choices are going to affect others. As a leader, you acknowledge the fact that having some kind of authority doesn't mean you can make others feel inferior to you. Don't jump to conclusions about a person based off of stereotypes or rumors. Being a leader means you take action to do what's right, and you enjoy doing so. You see everyone's significance before their flaws and their strength before their weaknesses. For me personally, I feel empowered as a leader because, as former attorney Michael Josephson said, leadership is not a matter of authority, it's a matter of influence. A true leader teaches others to understand more, motivates them to be more, and inspires them to become more. I know that anywhere I go, people are going to be seeing the choices I'm making, so I want to leave a good impression and be a great example. And for the teachers and parents who make it a part of a routine to educate their kids about leadership, think about how our learning comes through your motives and actions. Not only are you all leaders because of your position in our lives, but because when we do our best in any matter, we really become natural leaders just by example. So for everyone, become the kind of leader that doesn't care about power or a title. Become the kind of leader that cares enough to empower others and reminds them to stop holding themselves down so that they can rise to their full potential.
Hi, my name's Stuber. I have the privilege of teaching Leadworthy here at Medlin. I teach 6th grade classes and I have 7th and 8th graders as well. I kind of just lucked into this, and it is one of the best things that's happened to me as a teacher and as a person as well. You'll have to forgive me. I don't really like talking on video, but that's why you'll get to see a lot of my kids here in a little bit and some of the things that they have to say. I just wanted to share a couple things that we get to do here every day. And, like I said, not everybody has this opportunity, but hopefully some of these things that you hear can be something that you implement at home, in your classrooms, or anywhere that you want to make an impact and help these young leaders and these young kids that are going to be our future. Leadership is a word that gets thrown around a lot today, with many people not really understanding the true meaning. Here at Medlin, we do strive to get a better understanding of the different aspects and what true leadership really looks like and sounds like. Many believe that leader is someone who is vocal, stands up in front of a group, takes them where they need to go. They've got this loud voice, and sometimes even people think it's bossy. While that is definitely a form of leadership, not the bossy part, we like to make it more about who we are and what we do when given the choice between right and wrong. A true leader is someone who knows who they are, what they want, and they won't get derailed from that endeavor. When asked what would help teachers and parents to empower students, it was pretty evident the things that have worked here with this curriculum and the opportunities we have to do this on a daily basis. The empowerment that comes from just being heard is an extremely powerful one. I asked the students to give input on what they felt and thought about this question, and there were some amazing responses. Many of them centered around letting them try things on their own, letting them make their own mistakes, letting them be trusted to do things on their own, to hold each other accountable as opposed to me telling them what to do and what is right and wrong all the time. Getting to experience those things makes a big difference for them. They want to be treated by how they act, which is a hard concept sometimes because, we look at them and they're little and they're just learning things, but they want to be treated by how they act, not by their age. And I tell them all the time, I trust you till you give me a reason not to. And I'm going to treat you by how you act. You act like you can handle more, I'm going to give you more. And they really enjoy that. They like having that responsibility. And of course, they do make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. But they do learn from those mistakes. Well, most of them, but they do. One of the things they like to say in this too, when I ask them, is they want to be heard and have so many great ideas and thoughts. One of the things that I believe makes this class so successful is that most of them find their voice and they learn so much about themselves. They learn that differences are what make us all so amazing, and they learn to celebrate and respect other people's differences. They learn something from every encounter they have, good or bad, and we can learn something from everyone who we come in contact with. We are able to spend time discussing how to deal with inner and outer conflicts, and there's a lot of those that they have questions about. They get to a point where they feel like it's a safe space and they'll ask questions. I had this issue happen to me in the cafeteria today. What's the best way to handle it? So I enjoy getting to talk to them and talk them through it and let them come up with their own solutions to some of the problems that they have. We get to ask questions and have the time to understand the whys and hows of many of these challenges that we have in life. They do come up with a lot of their own perspectives and ideas because it doesn't work the same for everybody else. They have to figure out what's going to work best for them. And they do get a chance to prove themselves, not necessarily always to me, but even to their classmates and to themselves. One of the things we like to do here a lot is they give each other feedback. I, of course, will give mine, but they start to watch what other people are doing and learn from their mistakes or learn from their successes, and they implement that on their own. It's really a great thing to see and to watch this process grow as the year has gone. These kids, with the empowerment that comes from those things, they learn all these tools that they have in their little toolbox that they can implement to all parts of their life. It is a great thing to watch them from the beginning of the year to the end and watch them grow in themselves and be confident in themselves. And getting to hear what they said was really awesome. We strive to have a lot of honest conversation. One of the things I tell them is I don't ask you a question and have an expectation for what the response is. I want your honest answer. And they learn that their honesty is going to get them way further, especially in this classroom. But in life, that's something that, not saying that kids have problems with honesty. Sometimes they're scared to be honest if they don't feel like it's the right answer or what everybody else is going to agree with or say or think. They know that they should have grace and patience with other people and with themselves, to be kind to themselves. We, as a whole, as a population, we're pretty hard on ourselves. We stress a lot. We do all these things, and our kids do too. And getting to know that it's okay to make those mistakes. It's okay that you're not where you need to be. Having that growth mindset that they're maybe not where they need to be yet. We like to use yet a lot of times, but they do see the hope and possibility that they will get there. And having that internal motivation to do what's right and for people to see who they really are and see who they want them to see. We learn a lot about those kind of things. Emotional intelligence is one of those things that we spend a lot of time on, so that they get to work on those social skills and practice how to make a good first impression, how to work with different people in groups. It is empowering, and the whole Medlin Cares idea is SEL, social emotional learning, and it's something that I get to work on every single day. And it will look different in everybody's classroom and everybody's home, but getting them to understand how they feel about something and understanding what empathy looks like, understanding what giving back will do for them and for their community. And when given the opportunity to practice and show us they can handle more things, you'd be surprised at what they can actually do and how they thrive in that environment where they feel trusted. They feel like they're given the opportunity to practice these things that we teach them all the time. Because I don't know about you guys, but I learn better by doing. So we get the opportunity to practice leadership and practice these life skills that are important for them for their entire life. And a lot of it comes from just being trusted. And I could sit here and talk all day, not necessarily to a computer, but my kids know that I kind of go off on tangents on things. But when I asked them, I did have some of my students come up with some videos and some questions, and I implemented some of them on here, and they're really, really great. If I could have put everybody's on here, you'd be surprised at the amazement of some of these kids' answers are. You got to see one of them at the beginning part. She's a great student. I've had her, this is my second year. I have a lot of sixth graders on here that are going to give some of their thoughts. And it's just one of those things, hearing from their own mouths is going to be the best way to understand a little bit more about some of these kids. But I really appreciate everything that happens here at Medlin and the opportunity that I have. And hopefully some of these words, will help you in coming up with different ideas on ways to help your child or your student with their social emotional learning and make them be the best students, that they can be, because they really do care a lot about that. And they do care a lot about everything that happens here at school every day and at home. And, like I said, I have a great opportunity of getting to spend time with these kids and getting to practice these things with them. And I learn from them just as much as they learn from me. I can't say that I can take credit for all this. It's the curriculum. But some of these things we can pass along, and we can try to do everything to help that whole child. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some more videos on there from some of our students, and hopefully everyone's doing well, and everyone should know that Medlin does care.
I would say empowering, because it really helps students get to know themselves better and be more confident in what they do and what they say.
It makes me feel empowered because I can learn about myself and Leadworthy and understand who I am. Just all of the activities we do, we get to learn how to understand ourselves and how to understand others.
It's about doing the right thing when no one's watching and leading others towards their goal or to a common goal.
Well, I used to think leaders were just who could speak the loudest or who could be the loudest and get their word, their name through. But I realize now it's how you act and the way you portray yourself in your class or your team.
Leadworthy makes me feel empowered because I really want to help this community however I can. And I feel like Leadworthy has helped me so much with my confidence, and I really hope that I can continue to help more people and just make our school a better place.
Leadworthy has made me feel like a stronger leader because it's helped me with self-control and who I can be as a leader and who I would want to follow as a leader.